どうもお疲れ様です。ひろき先生です。Welcome back to For All Japanese Learners. Today, we're going to learn an important expression that appears more frequently in everyday conversation, and that's how to say, it looks like. This is an expression that conveys the information you see and feel to the other person. By the way, this expression is equivalent to JLPT level 4. For example, this pizza looks good, or that movie coming out next week looks interesting. In other words, you have not yet eaten that pizza or seen that movie, so you are not sure if it is really good or not. But it looks good, and you should be able to tell them that. But if all you know how to say is, this pizza is good, it comes across as if you already know what it tastes like. That should not be the information you really want to tell them, right? But with the expressions you will learn today, you'll be able to tell them exactly what you see and feel. So let's continue learning Japanese today with some easy to understand example sentences. Okay, now let's with an example. このピザは美味しい. This pizza is good.This is a normal affirmative sentence. This means that you have already had the pizza and know that it's good. So how do you change the meaning of the word delicious from here? Just add this form. そうです。It looks like. このピザは美味しそうです。This pizza looks good. Looks like easy, isn't it? So let me explain how to use it. First of all,There were several types of verbs and adjectives in Japanese, right? There are three main types of verbs: do verbs, u-verbs, and irregular verbs. Adjectives are E-type and not-type adjectives. And then as an exception, there is also the adjective E, which is good. Let's start with the conjugations of the adjectives and are easy to understand. Please look at this table.There are four conjugations of E-type adjective and not-type adjectives: affirmative and negative. By the way, the word des at the end of the sentence can be removed if you want to say it casually. Let's take a look at each one with an example sentence. Let's start with E-type adjective and affirmative. このピザは美味しそうです。This pizza looks good. The word delicious, good is 美味しい in Japanese. Since it is e-adjective, it has an e sound at the end. However, when you add そうです, you should remove this e sound before adding そうです. If you say 美味しいそうです with the e sound, it would mean something else. I hear this pizza is good.I'm going to introduce this usage of a future lesson, so I won't go into detail at this time. Next, let's check the example sentences of E-adjective plus negative. このピザは美味しくなさそうです。This pizza doesn't look good. Same as the affirmative, remove the E sound from 美味しい and add the form くなさそうです。That's all for the conjugation of the E-type adjective. Note that we need to remove the final E sound. Now, let's continue with not-type adjective plus affirmative. 彼の車は高級そうです。His car looks luxury. Luxury is the Japanese word for 高級な. Since it is a not-type adjective,It has a na sound at the end. As in the case with the conjugation of other expressions, the na sound is basically removed before adding the form when conjugating adjectives. Saying 高級なそうです with the na sound touched does not mean something else. It is simply grammatically incorrect. Next one is not-type adjective plus negative. 彼の車は高級じゃなさそうです。His car doesn't look luxury. Like the affirmative, the now sound is removed and then the form じゃなさそうです is added. Finally, let's check the exception E. E means good in general in English, but it is not used in Japanese to mean delicious. For example, 明日は天気が良さそうです. The weather looks good tomorrow. In kanji, good is written like this. But there are actually two ways to read it, E and yoi. E is used in casual speech, while yoi is used in written language or as a polite expression. However, when we conjugate it, we said 良さそう. Be careful because 言いそう is not used in this context. It doesn't work. For example, using the そうです form to describe something that can be judged immediately at a quick look, such as かわいい, cute, can give a different meaning. Cute is an E-type adjective, but if you remove the E sound and say かわいそう, it means poor thing. The reason is that there is another na-type adjective, かわいそうな, which means poor. If you want to say she looks pretty, you need to use another usage such as 彼女は可愛く見える or 彼女は可愛いと思う. Okay, let me explain about verbs plus そうです form. For example, it's going to rain in this afternoon, or I'm almost done with this stage. Let's take a look at the root verb, u-verb, and irregular verb, respectively. Let's start with root verbs. 電球が切れそうです. Looks like the bulb is about to run out. The verb in this example sentence is 切れる, to run out. Remove the root sound and then add そうです. Next one is the u verb. 彼女は泣きそうです. She's about to cry. The verb in this example sentence is 泣く, to cry. Change the u in the last sound of the u verb to an e and then add そうです. The last one is an irregular verb. もう少しでプロジェクトが完成しそうです. It looks like the project is almost complete. The verb in this example sentence is 完成する, to complete. When する is an irregular verb and you want to add そうです, change する to し and then add そうです. So here are some paraphrases of the words that have appeared today. おいしい, うまい, 高級な, 高い, かわいい, かわいらしい, 完成する, 終わる. So, how was it? In English, you can express things just by saying looks like, but in Japanese, you have to conjugate verbs and adjectives according to their forms. So there's a lot to remember at first, but the forms are already fixed. So it's a good way to learn how to conjugate them by making your own example sentence first. Now, to end the lesson, I'm going to give you the usual quizzes. Number 1, 彼女はいつも忙しそうです. Number 2, 今年の夏は暑くなりそうです. Number 3, 願いが叶いそうです. What are the verb and adjective types in each of these example sentences? For example, このピザは美味しそうです. This pizza looks good. The original form of 美味しそう looks good is 美味しい. So, the answer is E-type adjective. I'll put the answers in the description below, so let me know your answers in the comment section. In the next GENKI lesson, we're gonna learn how to say try something. This is another common expression used by Japanese people, so be sure to check it out. Okay, that's all for today. I hope you have a good rest of your day and see you in the next lesson soon.
動画を見てくれてありがとう。この動画がいいねと思ったら高評価とチャンネル登録お願いします。あとインスタグラムのフォローもよろしくお願いします。それじゃあまた。